Hello, welcome to East Asia Monitor. This is a 10th session being done on April 9 in Seoul. Today I'd like to talk about defense industry of Japan and Korea. Nine report is made and uploaded on the 19th and 29th of the month. That's why it's called the Nine report. I'm Daniel Roh. I'm a comparative practical economist with a focus on Japan, and I'm doing this show in Seoul, Korea most of the time. I'd like to take a look at defense budget of major countries. This is World Bank data for year 2022. As you see, the USA and China are the absolutely highest rankers with actually defense budget as different digits, right? Really, and then we have Russia, India, Saudi Arabia. To me, I think Saudi Arabia on the rank 5 is quite interesting. I've been to Saudi Arabia, and at that time, several years ago, Saudi Arabian defense buildup was not really notable at that time, but now it is really, really picking up, and actually, the increase rate is almost 19% a year, 2022, and then we have UK, Germany, France, the traditional European trios. Then we have Korea and Japan. Korea is on the rank 9. Is really, I think, surprising that, I was Air Force Lieutenant of Korean Air Force, years ago. But when I was in 20s and 30s, even 40s, Korea's defense industry was really small. It's not really, notable or discussable in the kind of context, but now it is rank 9, number 9, and it actually is above Japan, which is the 10th. And in terms of armed sales too, Korea is ranked on the 9th, and the only East Asian countries, not Japan. Japanese economy is actually far larger than Korea, but Korea is now actually number 9 on the global arms sale ranking. The U.S., Russia. The Russian arms sale is the decrease in year 22, because they have to focus on the conflict in the Ukraine. So maybe there's no actually surplus arms to sell, export, and they have to use it for their own war. Then France and China number 4, and Germany number 5, Italy 6, UK 7. So traditional really European countries, France, Germany, Italy, UK, and Spain. Then we have Korea at 9th position. Then of Israel. So again, even also in terms of global arms sales, Korea is one of the top leading 10 countries of the world, which is very surprising to myself. In terms of defense revenue, the revenue that generate from the defense sales, well, the companies Lockheed Martin, RTX, Northrop from the U.S. Then we have a Chinese company, National Enterprise Aviation Industry Corporation, on the rank 4. Then Boeing. So now I'm skipping rank 6 to 25, because 26th ranking, Hanwha is the first East Asian company in this roster. So Hanwha originally it was Hanguk Explosives. I mean, this company started with actually producing dynamite to open the mines in the mountain. But now it is becoming a leading munitions company of South Korea. Then 35th, we have a Mitsubishi Group, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, and Mitsubishi Electric, but group as a whole. But to me, it is really surprising that Mitsubishi Group is behind Hanwha. That is really amazing to me. Then we have LIG Next1. LIG Next1 belongs to LIG Group, which actually spin-off from the LG, Lucky Gold Star LG Group. I mean, in the Western countries, LG, fridge or TVs, all those consumer electronics are quite popular. But LG Group, from LG Group, we have this LIG Group, becoming independent, and LIG Next1 is a leading munitions company in Korea. Then we have Korea Aerospace Industry Limited. It used to be a government laboratory company developing, the satellites and rockets. But now it's a private company and number 3 defense company in Korea, and ranking 56th in the world. I mean, in among 100. Then we have a Kawasaki Heavy Industry, the typical heavy industry, building the ships and all kinds of, heavy industry munitions equipment. Then Fujitsu Electronics Company. Now, I'd like to, remind you that one basic hurdle, basic condition for the Japanese munitions company is that the Japanese peace constitution, called peace constitution, which was adopted at the end of the Second World War as a former warring state. So Japanese, with this constitution, Japanese do not have a regular army. They only have a self-defense force. So let me read this clause 9 of Constitution. The Japanese people forever renounce war as a sovereign right of the nation and the threat or use of force as a means of settling international disputes. To accomplish the aim of the preceding paragraph, land, sea, and air forces, as well as other potential, will never be maintained. The right of belligerency of the state will not be recognized. So Japanese cannot have a standing army or can actually perform war with other countries. So it's a really peace constitution. But actually, we also know that Japan has a self-defense force which is quite powerful and very well equipped. And there are actually 3 principles of arms export. Year 1976 to 2014. That 3 principles regulated arms export by Japanese companies. But it was actually abolished, and now we have 3 principles on arms transfer, which is actually looser, more soft than the previous arms export principles. So 3 rules, meaning, first of all, the clear control of arms movement. So arms movement should be clearly controlled and reported. And the second, in case of movement is permitted, strict limitation of money and information disclosure. Where those arms go and what kind of arms was exported. All those specific information should be disclosed. Then proper management pertaining to non-purpose use and relocation to third countries. So I mean, if the company used the equipment other than the originally declared purpose, or if they relocate to third countries, it should be reported. There are 3 conditions of arms transfer. And another point I'd like to bring your attention is that there is has been 1% gap for a long time. That is, Japanese government cannot formulate a budget which is larger than 1% of gross domestic product. So it changes very, depending on the size of GDP. It was not a law. It was kind of de facto agreement with the U.S. So this 1% gap has been, maintained quite, faithfully, quite well until lately, year 2022. So then from year 2023, Japanese government policy got changed. So it is reported that actually the Japanese arms budget is around 2% of GDP. So this 1% rule has been realistically gotten rid of. It's not being maintained at the moment. So that means the Japanese armament is growing, and it is possible that U.S. government is, in a sense, not only agreeing to it, but encouraging it, because the U.S. has to be engaged in so many conflicts around the world. So maybe they need some support from the Japanese side. Leading Japanese defense firms, they are basically the ones that participate in the Second World War as a partner of the Japanese in the military. Mitsubishi Group has several companies, but particularly Mitsubishi Heavy Industry. Most of aircraft carriers were made by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Now fighter and aircraft and Mitsubishi Electric Company, usually it's called MELCO, MELCO. So missiles and radar systems. And Kawasaki Heavy Industries build submarines, helicopters, and large ships too. And Nippon Electric Company Corporation, NEC, it started with actually consumer electronics, but at the same time, they are in the radar and electronic equipment market, the defense market too. Ishikawajima Harima Industries, IHI, used to be a large-scale shipbuilder. They build war vessels, even in large scale, participate in building aircraft carriers. But now they develop mostly engines. Fujitsu is post-war company, electronic companies, but they engaged in networks, military systems. And Komatsu is famous for bulldozers, but then they make armored vehicles and shells. And Toshiba, Hitachi, and the previous Fujitsu, NEC are all famous global electronic companies, but Toshiba, Tokyo, Shibaura used to be, is also developed missile systems. And Hitachi is very, central in the information systems in the market in Japan, both civilian and military. And Daikin produces shells, munitions. Now let's take a look at the Korean arms exporters' products. Hanwha Aerospace. Hanwha actually it means in the Korean is Hanguk Explosives. They used to, 1940s and 50s. Before that, they just developed dynamite to build mines, coal mines. So they were dynamite makers. But now Hanwha Group is really, even though they have other subsidiaries like hotels and department stores, etc. But in terms of defense industry, their aerospace company, their systems company, as the central ones in the Korean arms industry. So Hanwha Aerospace sells K9 self-propelled gun, Cheongung mid-range surface air missile, Chunmoo multiple launch rockets. They are all, now well selling actually outside of Korea too. And Hanwha Systems, they develop Cheongung multi-purpose radar. KAI, Korea Aerospace Industry Limited, used to be a government research firm, but now it became actually aircraft maker. They began with T-50 trainer aircraft. That became actually a fighter, FA-50 fighter aircraft. They are actually quite popular in air shows everywhere. It's a two-seater fighter, very light, short range, but well selling. Actually, this FA-50 fighter aircraft are quite popular in the Asian and Middle East markets. And LIG, next one is a company name. They develop, like a Toshiba of Japan, communication systems, and Cheongung mid-range SAM electronics systems. LIG actually is the name of a group of companies that actually is used to be part of LG Group, Lucky Gold Star Group. And Hyundai Rotem belongs to Hyundai Group. Rotem, they make tanks and K2 self-propelled artillery. So all these items are now quite, many countries are interested in these items, and the exports of this system will, be expanded from now on. So these are two illustrative scenes. On the left side is actually K2 tank sold to Poland, and the Poland president and defense minister were so pleased that they was standing on the hood of a K2 tank. On the right side is FA-50 light attack aircraft. They are quite popular in air shows and also actually getting exported to many countries lately. So, which countries are really buying Korean military equipment? I mean, Americans, USA buys many actually items. Then in the Asia Pacific, Australia, India, Indonesia, Philippines, and surprisingly, it's very remarkable that Middle East countries are quite interested in Korean products. Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, particularly Turkey, UAE, and Korean government is really taking these countries very seriously because they seem to feel comfortable with the Korean arms equipment, compared to American and European ones, and cheaper, and actually less actually fewer conditions are attached, etc. And Finland and Poland of Europe, and Colombia, Peru, and Senegal are also interested in Korean military equipment. Okay, this is for today. If you are subscribed, it will give a big actually support for me. And if you have any question, please write to this email. Thank you very much.